probably slightly better than mine. Maybe. I don't know.
We'll see when we actually go into the character.
Whoever told you that you needed 8,000 hit HP for her, it's full of shit.
I haven't seen a single Fush one other than mine under 8K.
Well, mine is. I literally just had this pulled up. Let me go back. I think she's 65, but she has 2,100 defense.
Oh wow, that's a lot of defense. I
have really shitty substat rolls. Like, it's really bad.
Yeah.
I'm getting lots of attack and effect hit rate. It's rough out here. But I rolled it's like a 19.9% defense substat on something else. So she's very chunky. Hi, Endo.
Hello,
no, it is not Chrono Cross.
Yes, we are taking a 1 week break. Oh shit, that's too loud. Because every patch, we do a honky like retrospective of the patch. Because this patch is basically over. So this is what this. Yeah, I can't.
Accurate. Fucking accurate. Yeah. By the way, Discord. Please.
Yes.
And thank you.
Yes, we are late today. That's my fault. We are not only late from we're not on the right time, but we're also late for the scheduled time as well. Both of those are on me, so that's my bad.
Boo this man.
Now the game won't let me click into the thing. Why won't it let me? Oh, here we go. That's why.
What are you doing?
I'm doing the thing that I should have been doing, which is the really shitty event that we have going on.
Whatever do you mean, Treevoid? Tell us more.
So there's this event going on right now, which is just assignments, but instead of getting your usual, like, whatever marginal items you get from your assignments, you get, like, a marginal amount of Primo Gems, or Stellar Jade instead. So like it's fine, I guess. It's just it doesn't feel like event worthy. It feels like a login bonus. Like that's the caliber of reward, I guess.
Know nothing about not a fan.
Schedule, so you should. well, the schedule is sort of irrespective of what the game is. The schedule is very set in stone, aside from many fluctuations this month. But yeah, this is the 1.3 retrospective. I haven't done my 2 weekly quests today. So what happened in 1.3 was we had a tiny amount of story, and then quite a few character quests. Plus, obviously, the 3 new characters in Dan Hung, Imbibitor Lude, who's on screen, Fushuan, and Lynx as well. If we want to just roll right into it, Lion, what are your thoughts on 1.3 overall?
Mixed. Conflicted.
Okay.
Yes. Things that I like. Fushuan. Lynx. I like the story content. I like the Aurum Alley event / side story thing. I can't comment on the character or the companion missions because I don't think I did any of them. I think I still have all. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Things that I did not like. The current was it Space Station Task Force event?
Yeah.
I forgot to mention things that I also like. The Simulated Universe update in its entirety.
Swarm Disaster
plus new path, plus new what do you call it? Events and stuff like that. Like I'm very, very happy with that update to the Simulated Universe. Things I'm less happy about this particular event. really, really a lot of this. Let me go pull up the thing. Honkai.
I mean, because it's like,
Tutorial
it's not really an
1.3.
event, right?
Events. Well, my
I mean, the
issue
game
with it,
calls it an event, but
my issue with it is actually way simpler. It's that it's an assignment-based event that eats up your assignments
yeah.
while you would normally be trying to do stuff, which I don't care for. They take between like 3 hours, I think, and 8, depending on which one it is. And since normally
What's Sally doing here?
your normal assignments will take about 20 hours, it's very difficult to manage to get those things done. The rewards are better, but it eats up 2 characters and all of that time. Where, sometimes you really just want more weapon XP or whatever.
Yeah, I've just not been doing the regular assignments. I just wait for the reset and then I just do it. Instead of like micromanaging and like logging in. And like, oh, I'll set it to the 16-hour version instead. It's like, it's not worth it. Hello, RVK. Yeah, Welt really shines in Swarm Disaster. I will say that.
Welt is a fucking baller. Possibly my favorite. Oh, one of my. I'm not going to say my favorite character. One of.
Yeah.
He's like top 5, easy. Other things that were good. We enjoy our planar fissures. Hopefully they'll continue to happen. We have our special program coming up on Friday, so a day and a half ish from now, about 36 hours.
Yeah.
We'll find out what's coming in 1.4. Hopefully we'll get another planar fissure. I see that we are due to have the double calyx coming up here real soon. Which, if this would give me a date for that, that would be amazing. It doesn't tell me. This is bullshit. What are your thoughts, Treevoid?
So let's see. I think I have one of the more unpopular opinions on the story. In that I liked the story chapter, or the story content of this chapter, which I know is more contested. I know lots of people were not very satisfied with the story content that we got, which I can see why. I don't think people are wrong to dislike it, because it was very brief. And it was definitely something that could have been in 1.2. It didn't need to be standalone, but I think it being a more character-focused section, instead of this very bombastic, like, we're going to save a planet or save the Zhan Lofu. I didn't mind that it was a very pared down story in terms of scale.
They don't look happy to see us.
But again, I really understand why people would dislike it. I think what really elevated it for me was I had done Yukong's character quests before going into it, and I think that adds a lot to it, because basically the summary of it is you are hanging out with Yukong and anyone who was adjacent to Ting Yun, because Ting Yun, spoilers for 1.2, has passed away, and so you're dealing with all the ramifications of that, talking to the people.
I'm gonna jump here, and I'm gonna give a rebuttal to that. The problem that I had with the story that we got was partially that it was very, very short. You realistically, you could have put it into 1.2.
Yeah.
But we still, at this point, we still don't know what happened to Ting Yun.
Yes.
She might still be alive.
That's correct.
We don't know. And this was super unsatisfying because there was no denouement. It was, okay, we had, I'm not going to tell you what happened, but, we are proceeding assuming that she is dead in the story, and there's plenty of time for literally the story quest. This particular expansion, it's one mission, and it's not even like a quest line. It's, as Treevoid mentioned, you're talking to people that Tingyun was close to, and that's it. That's the whole thing. There was plenty of space for that to be elaborated upon. Tingyun is a furry, so nobody should care. Wow, that's pretty brutal. Pot.
Yeah, Pot is a Tingyun hater. I don't know why he's become a Tingyun hater, but
I am strongly anti-furry as well, so I'm with you, Pot. But Tingyun is really useful, which I will overlook her ears and her tail for that. Hi, Alfie. No, it is not Chrono Cross.
This is our once a patch.
Be sure to hit the subscribe button after you unsubscribe.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, so we do Honkai Star Rail once every patch, so once every 6 weeks. And since we're already having an interruption to our regularly scheduled programming, figured, might as well
throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak.
Yes, Indo. We will not be doing Kiwami tomorrow. Treevoid's got life happening, regardless of the fact that he just had life happening. So busy touching grass.
At least
so
I'm
tomorrow.
This time.
Tomorrow, Alfie and I, I'll be starting up Judgment, which I'm looking forward to. It's going to be fun. Assuming that my internet connection cannot shit itself.
No more bad boys, please.
Oh boy. By the way, Treevoid, did you see the thumbnail for the stream?
Yes, I did. This is a Treevoid approved thumbnail. I bet involved,
it is.
But it was definitely the right choice. Yeah. I think all those criticisms of the story that you laid out are fair. It's just, for me, like, I don't mind it being left as an open question, because again, like, I think that sort of fits into Yukong's character of being someone who's like always looking towards the sky, has to deal with a lot of loss. Like, that's very unfortunately central to a lot of what's going on with Yukong. So I think like this is a great extension of her character quest. So in terms of it being the only story content of the patch, yeah, that's a bit more questionable. But if you look at it as Tingyun character quest 2, I think it's really good. So that's the kind of framing that I have going into it.
I think that it would have been more satisfying to have like an actual conclusion, particularly if it turns out that Tingyun is still alive, as a way of sort of juxtaposing the outcome of the Yukong, companion mission, and the expectation of, saying goodbye to another friend with, oh hey, I'm actually alive, haha, you've grown as a person, but it's not always shit. And especially given the teaser that they put out on Twitter, with the, what was it? The PS, not PlayStation. It was TGS at the Tokyo Game Show. They put a like. Topaz shows up. You're.
Oh, I think we're losing you, Lion.
You're losing nothing. There's nothing.
What? No pot. That's I'm not going to be doing that. It's not as good as the Chrono Cross episode 9 thumbnail. Is that the macho one? Where's Lion going? Lion is going into the digital ether.
I lost my whole train of thought.
Yeah. Okay, well, it sounds like you're back now.
Yeah. Oh God, I really hope not, Pot.
That was terrible, Pot.
Anyways, long story short, they're setting up the interlude to be, hey, this is what takes us to the next planet. Especially since we've already wrapped things up with Fushuen and Jingyuan. So it feels like we're just not going to find out what happens to Tingyun, which is not satisfying.
Yeah, I don't think we're finding out what happens with Tingyun.
And if she's dead, how are we playing as her?
Right.
And if she's
I don't
not
think,
dead,
I don't think the characters are like canon to anything.
like, are we playing as the what do you call it? The Lord Ravager? Are we playing as Fantillion?
Well, I think the like you are playing as a unit is completely separate from the game's lore. Like, do we just call up Silverwolf and Kafka whenever
sure.
we do combat?
We've met them. They're real people.
Well, so is Tingyun.
We don't know that because we've never met Tingyun.
She was a character that
allegedly
we interacted with.
But have we?
Yeah. I mean, Fantilia...
We've basically been gaslit. This is like Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah.
The Colonel isn't real, and neither is Rose.
We have the dimensional cord.
Oh my God. Next patch might be a Pot is winning patch. With maybe Pot is Ice Guy.
Is Yangsheng not going to get owned once? Is he finally
with the release of Jinglu, and then we've got Topaz and the other character whose name I don't know how to say. Gwenathin. I don't know.
Oh, the
fire one.
Yeah,
the other fire.
Character. Like she's the first character that I've heard like no buzz about at all.
Well, I don't keep up with the leak stuff.
No, not just leaks, like in general.
What I do know is that apparently she's like Sushong's friend, who is like a YouTuber in Honkai world, on the Lofa, which is potentially pretty amazing. Could be really entertaining depending on how things go. Like apparently the light cone that she's on, which by the way, if you haven't, be sure to subscribe for more.
I see what you did there.
Yes, it has her attempting to break a like a concrete block that Sushong has laying on her chest, while she's got like her selfie stick type thing going on. Social influencers, I actually don't know, but she seems like she will be very entertaining. So I'm kind of looking forward to her, but also Topaz.
Yeah, I'm more interested in Topaz than I am. Well, it's interesting. Like, I think lore-wise, obviously we don't know anything about Topaz, but I think Jingli was very interesting. Just due to the greater lore between her and Danfeng and Jingyuan and whoever.
And Blade.
Yeah, and Blade. Yeah.
Yeah, that was that was the most interesting part of the story this patch.
Yeah.
That one cutscene, 100%.
Yeah, you also go into that more in Bibitor Lune's character quest.
Oh.
And you also learn, in Bibitor Lune's story quest is incredible. Hello there, Salem. I think it's it goes into a lot of lore that I feel like is almost necessary to fully understand the context of what is going on with everything going on in this Xianzhou Lofu.
Let's wait.
I feel like in general, all the character quests are like very important to do. Especially like Dan Hung's, because it gives a lot more context to Bailu as well. So it retroactively made me much more interested in the lore of Bailu, not the unit. But it's much more interesting in that context as well.
I'm so uninterested in Bailu. Especially... I didn't like her involvement in the Aurum Alley thing. It felt very it was like they were trying to shoehorn in, oh, here's a 5-star character that you might have seen before. And then she just kind of fucked off almost immediately to let Sushong be the star of the show. Which is fine because I like Sushong, but like, why put her in the first place? Yes, it was very random. I did not like how we got suckered into buying her food for saying, hey, you take 10 steps over there, there's an alleyway that has a bunch of shit in it. It felt really contrived. The event itself, however, did not. I really enjoyed it.
Did you finish it?
I did not. I forgot that it was ending really soon. So basically I wasted time on the last day doing some other stuff, like bashing my head into a wall during the worst possible weekend to play Destiny in the history of the game. I got through the first half of it within the span of like an hour or two, and I just ran out of time. I had to go to bed for work the next day.
Just don't go to bed for work.
I did not get the resin. I was very upset. But I enjoyed the gameplay. I liked the idea of, talking to the different merchants and things and getting a sense of what was going on with them and their lives and the changes that seem to be coming with the IPC getting involved in the kind of day-to-day goings-on of something as simple as, a mercantile district on the Lofa. Finding out that they'd been setting this dude up to feed them information and sabotage the people in his own neighborhood or whatever, which was as far as I got. And interacting with the what was his deal? He was a Jade Abacus repair guy, who felt that, well, the times are changing, we might as well just give into it and let the kids do whatever. That crotchety old man thing. Between the social interaction portion of it, and sort of the politics of the day-to-day life, I enjoyed that, but also I like simple puzzle elements, like, hey, how many things can you fit in here? It felt... I don't want to say like Tetris necessarily, so much as Tetris if you turn it on its side. I don't know if that analogy tracks.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. This is a gorilla. It's the worst. It's the worst. And if you have, I'm missing two characters in this game. If you have Blade, which is one of the characters I'm missing, he's like whatever, total joke. If you don't have Blade, he's a pain in the ass. So it's my fault for not pulling every unit, but
They don't look happy to see us.
I'd stop killing. One less member of the gorilla squad.
I can't believe you didn't pull Blade.
I wasn't interested in I'm already suffering from like a why am I pulling units thing. I already am not using Jingyuan anymore, basically. And I very rarely use Sailor. So
you just did.
On wave 2. Memory of Chaos. It's just I have so many DPS units that it's like, do I need another one? So it's difficult. And I pulled Fushuan now. Even though I didn't need to, I was really pulling for Lynx because I like the way Link's. We'll get into it when we get to the character section. But like I like the way they interact. So I'm already suffering from. I can complete all the content, so I'm just pulling units for like. I think they're cool, and I wasn't like super excited about Blade's design. Like I'm not crazy about it like visually. I don't really jive with it too much.
Oh.
But, like not that he's a very good character, but he's just not really one that spoke to me. Yeah, I know Pod said he didn't like the hint system for the orders. I do agree. The fact that it just like gives you the answer and it gives it to you in like
that wasn't ideal.
After 10 seconds of not doing it's like, do you want the hints? Like, give me a second. I'll get to it. But also like it's not intrusive in that like you have to engage with the hint system. It doesn't force itself on you. So I didn't mind it, but yeah, it was very like in your face about it. But yeah, I really enjoyed all those mini games and like the laying down the pipes to get the optimal pathing and everything, and then doing all your little placements things. So yeah, I thought Aurum was pretty fun. I can't believe that was this patch. It feels like forever ago that I was doing that.
Time has gone by so quickly the past few weeks.
Yeah, it's been crazy. But yeah, in terms of like major events, I would say that was like the first one, and then the second one we had. Yeah, I can't comment too much on the story because I mashed through it because I don't care about Sushang.
But Sushang is great.
Yeah, she's cool. I'm impartial towards her. But I don't think she's a bad character.
I mean, you would like her more if you didn't mash through the story.
Probably, yeah. I would probably like Sushang more. But like I wasn't sold on her when in the 1.0 story when you're hanging out with her and Luocha and Baystan. So I was like, whatever. And then this was like we're restoring the alley and the IPC is like corrupting. I was like, it's fine. It's like, small town bullshit. Oh, the big guys are moving in and they're killing the local town. It's like, oh yeah, Juness is coming in, ruining the local economy.
Oh my god.
It's like I heard the story 1,000 times, yeah. So but it's not.
Sushang is easy and dumb, and I know how much you like that.
Yeah, that's why I pulled Luca. Even though, in most content, if it's not physical week and I'm doing a Kafka team, I'll just run Sampo because Sampo's AoE. It's just like you very rarely need the single target. When you do need it, he's great, but it's just it's unfortunate. I find that he's limited by being single target.
Lend me your strength.
Yes. So the other main event was the Swarm disaster. What are your thoughts on Swarm disaster? If you didn't have anything else you wanted to add to?
No, I didn't. I think that the tutorial bits were extremely excessive.
Yeah, 100%.
I understand that they need to explain, hey, this is a new game mode. Please stop making me click on stuff. Just let me get to it, please.
Yeah, Swarm Disaster's tutorial was brutal.
I'm still working on the Swarm Disaster.
Yeah,
I haven't finished it. Like the end of the path and unlocking propagation for simulated universe, stuff like that. But I have done the Swarm Disaster. And what I will say is it keeps going, the tutorial stuff, and I don't like that. It's too long-winded. The actual gameplay I like. The Swarm Disaster game mode has one of my favorite simulated universe things ever in it, which is the event stages. I realize that I'm cheating because I use Kafka, but I enjoy trying to hunt down the trotters to get enough. And then there's another one that I can't think of off the top of my head, but it involves like shooting stuff, I think, with Bronya, I think.
shooting the barrels.
Yes.
Yeah.
The event stages are great. The idea of having simulated universe be governed by dice rolls
Lengthen your strength.
is interesting, and the sort of game board thing, you know, it has a lot of randomness and therefore replayability. The new boss is. We need more of that in the game, please.
Lengthen your
Thank you.
strength.
The maybe not necessarily the big giant bug part, but an enemy that can really just absolutely wreck our shit is something that we haven't had in a while. Outside of the gorilla being really annoying in Memory of Chaos. The abilities, like the what do you call them? The path abilities. As you're playing through Swarm Disaster, did not feel as good as the ones in Simulated Universe. It felt just kind of generally less focused, almost, which may or may not make sense.
Yeah, I think. Could you go into that a little? I'm not sure what you mean.
I don't have it open right now to be able to read what one of them does. It just felt like, hey, we got to be able to do something here because this is the path of destruction.
Do you mean like
or,
the resonance, or do you mean the little
Yes,
bonus
yes,
that you
yes.
get every? So not
Yes.
the. Yeah. Okay.
It was just, it felt kind of weird.
I think they're very imbalanced in terms of. Like some of them feel kind of thematic, and then some of them seem very random.
Yeah.
Also, like saying that's the worst take ever. Like, Topaz is not mid. Topaz is like the most interesting design in a. I shouldn't say interesting. Is I guess interesting is one way. Topaz is hot. Okay.
Topaz is
not
the
mid.
first female character where Treevoid isn't like, man, I hope she dies.
Yeah. What? I don't say that about Kafka. I don't say that about Jingli.
That's because Jinglu already died, maybe.
Well,
Question
she's
mark.
Mara struck. Are Mara struck people zombies? No.
I don't know, maybe? I mean,
because it's
Genuine
not,
definitely killed her,
Yeah.
so question marks.
well, I think it was in what, the Kafka story quest, but like, the older you get, the more Mara takes over your body. So I guess it's like a death allegory in that sense. Yeah, truly, this is subhuman behavior. But yeah, going back to the resonances. Yeah, the preservation one kind of feels weird, where it'll stop the adjacent nodes from collapsing. So I guess I can showcase it. Let me switch to Heart of Space. Also, I wish there was a faster way to get to simulated. Like there was a hotkey. I didn't have to walk all the way here and do it. Let's go Swarm
I
Disaster.
guess that's fair, because I think you can do that with Memory of Chaos.
Yeah. Download initial characters. Yes, this is. Well, I mean, I wasn't really playing, but this is my game that we are watching. Yes, that's correct. I keep saying, yeah. We have a built Dan Hung, which Lion does not have.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I'm not doing that shit.
That's very
I
loaded
did not
language.
want that character. I did not want it. The games had other ideas. I would be interested in seeing what your Kafka's stats are like, though.
Sure. We can go into that.
Call
So
it
you mean this
professional
path
curiosity.
buff, right? This is the issue. This is the thing you're talking about that you don't care too much about.
It's a combination of the path buff along with, it's like, okay, you've got dice effect,
Yes.
and
These are
then
the dice
you've
effects.
got all of this stuff. It just feels cobbled together.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah. I think it depends on the path. I think some make sense. And then I think some are kind of lame.
Some stuff plays into the, hey, you're playing a board game elements,
Yeah.
and some stuff plays into the, hey, by the way, you have to fight enemies part. I feel like there's not enough parity there. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think that's valid.
My take is only semi-cooked.
Yeah, I think my biggest issue with Swarm Disaster is I think it stays a bit too long. Like, I think we could do with the second node being like half as long. This is my first time going in Elation. I have no idea what Elation does. So Elation's still like the follow-up buffs, I would presume.
We're about to find out. Oh, God.
What?
English.
This guy. We don't want that. Wow, you didn't get a single... fucking... It begins. The simulated universe curse. Just never getting on set.
I see through you.
I regret picking Gepard here. I should have picked Luocha.
Why do you have Japard and Fushuen and Clara?
Well, this is Elation, so Clara is here as a DPS unit.
Yeah, but if they're not attacking her because they're attacking Japard or Fushuen...
Well, Gepard was a mistake. Gepard should have been Luocha. But I don't have like a aggro drawing light cone on Fushuen, and I haven't had much issue. Like when Clara puts her uses her ultimate, she gets a taunt, and she's fairly regularly able to get the counters off. Select one occurrence domain and apply random happiness to it. I don't know what happinesses are. Random happiness. Change it to an elite. Okay, here we go. When ally enters boss or boss...
Everybody
swarm,
loves Aha. This is almost as bad as Raw bringing Shadow and Aurum on the same team.
For every enemy domain that ally passes.
I see what you mean, Pot.
Listen, it's only for the first part, okay?
Be watchful.
The first part doesn't matter anyways. It only gets difficult once you hit the second.
Our fortune is cloud.
I like that there's something that penalizes you for taking too long and trying to do like everything. In terms of the mechanics.
Yeah,
like
I feel like it's like a little bit tight.
It's a little too tight, yes.
Yeah. I think if they gave you like 1 to 2 more, it would be fine. But a lot of times I feel like I'm rushing and I'm still like -1 or something. 100 comment. So yeah, basically the way this works is you have this little chessboard. Every time you clear a node, you get this dice. It rolls. It has 6 sides. Each side has a different effect. So in this one, when you enter combat, after you use an attack to deal damage, so basically it conturns all attacks into follow-up attacks for 2 turns. So like some are minor buffs, some are more impactful buffs. Abundance takes a lifetime to do. Abundance is very weird. Abundance is like all about fucking with your count. I guess the seal is fine because you don't actually, it doesn't influence what you get. Abundance seems very confusing to me. I tried doing it once and I did not understand how to manipulate it properly, so I was like -10 and it didn't go well.
Is that all?
Our fortune is clouded.
Why doesn't... Oh, so Fusen starts with her shield or with the field only when you use her talent? Is that...
Correct.
Okay. This is my first time using Fushuen, not in auto. So, I don't know how she works.
Here. This ends here.
I'm not afraid of you.
Let's get the Clara talk going.
Stay close. Here stands the Silvermane Guard.
Yeah, but overall, I'm pretty happy with this game mode. I think it's like a good addition.
Follow my charge.
Yeah, just runs a little bit too long.
There's a lot to do, which I like.
Yeah, it was a very. I didn't expect it to be quite like such a large update in terms of amount of content.
I don't think anybody did.
Yeah.
Gather as one.
Here, this thunder.
I'm just
Show
kidding.
no mercy. A will forged in ice. Never falters.
So in terms of the units that came out, we've got 3 new units this patch. I think all of which sort of are above average. Like I don't want to say they were above expectations. They might be, but they're definitely above the average power level of the units that were in the game before. Would you agree with that general assessment?
It's almost like you're saying that Imbibitor Lunae is really strong or something.
Well, yeah, I not just him though. Like I think
Forged in ice.
What
Fushan
could you
and
possibly
Link
mean?
are also like within their given role very powerful.
I have a lot of thoughts here. If Blade and Danheng are an indication of what we have to expect from limited destruction characters,
Show no mercy.
it's probably in the running for the best DPS path. Would you agree?
Yeah, for sure.
We've
Unless
only
they do
had
something with Hunt and well, especially Elation. Elation is not in a good spot. But
there is no elation.
not
I
Elation.
think you mean erudition.
Erudition, yes. Yeah.
Erudition is fine.
I think it's sure.
Looking
I think
at
it's
it-
fine. I don't think it's good.
Like when we had Sela, who is very, very strong, and then we had Jingyuan, which is erudition. Erudition as a DPS outside of your AoE situations is always going to be worse than a hunt or possibly even a like a blast, single target with AoE, like splash damage
Yeah.
character. So we then had a patch where we didn't have any DPS characters, and then we got Blade. And Blade is this might be a hot take. I feel like Blade is a step up from Sela. He deals a lot of damage, turn over turn, but he also does it without consuming skill points every turn, which gives you more, like a larger number of characters that you can play with him, who can all do their own things, and you can do some pretty just disgusting things with Blade. Then we got Kafka, who is a solid DPS in her own right. Just here's Kafka, you plugged her into a team. You're running, solo sustain unit plus 2 supports, and then you've got Kafka. She'll deal a bunch of damage. She'll carry you. But when you also happen to run her with another a dot character, she's going to elevate the dot team to a level that was absolutely impossible before. She deals so much damage. It's pretty gross. And then we got Imbibitor Lunae, who does that something very similar, except he deals more damage than any other character in the game, while also consuming more skill points than any other character in the game, which seems like a fairly reasonable trade-off. We discovered, or I shouldn't say discovered, they revealed that Jinglu will also be a destruction character. So I'm very interested in seeing what she is capable of with that in mind.
Oh no, I didn't. Well, I'm not gonna win this one. Should have downloaded Dan.
Events, let's go. Oh,
Yeah, I dislike the general discourse around like power creep and like where will the game go from here.
Okay.
But
Okay, outside.
but I definitely do think, not surprisingly, the newer characters are definitely a step above. Should have used Yukong. Yeah, I could have downloaded a lot of characters. It's fine.
I think that we have seen our first example of actual power creep in the game, which comes from a surprising sector, area, character, whatever. But we haven't gotten to that yet. Power creep is real. If it stays kind of how it has been thus far, it was probably fine. Since the game is still fairly new and they're adding characters, and it's going to take some time for things to settle, versus it's hard to do power creep in Genshin. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I would say it's hard. I just think they're more active in not implementing it.
Sort of.
Like they do a lot of side grades in Genshin.
Yes.
They don't
Yes.
really. Well,
So far, we don't have characters that are the same, right now. But I think part of that is obviously the way that the games work are very different. But
also the relative newness of the game means there's
exactly that's yes. Now, if we get, for example, an AOE follow-up character that has that does follow-up attacks with a third party intervening on their behalf, but also and the follow-ups are AOE, but this character does not have any issues with being CC'd, and they happen to be on the path of erudition, well, yeah, Jingyuen's probably in the dirt at that point, especially if they're a lightning character. I think people are too hard on him, but that's beside the point. I think so far we've only seen kind of minor power creep, with one exception, but we haven't gotten to that yet. What do you think of Fushuan so far?
So I can't speak to Fushuan too much. Honestly, like I really am only using her properly right now, for the first time. So I don't think I have much room to speak about her in specific. I've changed my name in Discord to Day One Fushuan Hater, for my general imposition towards her, because I just don't like her design too much. I'm not crazy about it. I think she's obviously very strong. I think there's a lot of hubbub about, like, is she or who's better, her or Luocha, and all this jazz, and it's like, well, I think they serve different roles, which is like a cop-out answer of like fence sitting and not making a decision. But I do think like it's weird to compare that. Like I understand why you're comparing them, because they're both fulfilling that role of solo sustain, and within that context, I think in general, I feel like Luocha is easier to do that with. Again, like this is a very limited knowledge of Fushuan and like usage of her.
That is correct, Indo. Yes.
Yeah. I think my main issues with Fushuan is that Luocha can be 100% like Luocha, like Pela, I think are the only two characters that like you never need to press their skill.
You should probably press his skill though.
Luocha's?
Yep.
Why? To get the field up?
Because you're at 5 skill points.
Yeah.
You're wasting energy if you don't.
That's fine. Sure, I'll do it anyways because this is like a whatever fight.
Indo, in terms of...
Whoa, what the fuck? Wait, what? Why? Why did
In
Fushan
terms
just
of-
take that much damage?
Because she has her field up, she takes 65% of the damage that your other characters do.
Yeah, that I
so
understand, but she like mitigates
that's a-
a shit ton.
That's a big AoE hit that she's taking regular damage plus all of their damage. Somebody ran the numbers on that. She takes 295% of the damage that a character would take
I want to
if,
protect everyone too.
like, if Fushuan wasn't there, everyone would take, here's 100% damage, where she takes 295% while everyone else only takes 35%. That is why you need to build defense on her.
All things in this
It's super important.
Yeah. After this battle, I'll show her relics because she does not have any defense percent main stat items, but she does have a lot of defense percent, and also the light cone that she's using, which is the Herda Shop light cone, also gives her defense percent.
Oh wait, Herda. Yes, I like texture memories.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
I'm a big
Fushan is like
fan-
the only character. I think
Disagree.
for a very long time who will use it.
Disagree. I'm a big fan of her animations,
Yes,
particularly
her animations are amazing.
I like her talent animation. I didn't realize what it was that I liked about it so much. I was like, this looks different. When she's flipping from I don't know which side is which, but she's flipping from like the yin side to the yang side.
Yeah.
Eternal sleep.
But you have to like really pay attention to the animation to notice that. And it wasn't until someone said it and I watched it, I was like, oh, that's really cool. And I like how she's flipping from the one circle to the other circle that's like inside of that first circle. It's really neat.
Oh, that's why I have so many skill points. I was like, I don't think this team is that skill point positive. I have the perk that when you do a follow-up, you get a skill point. So.
She is incredibly strong sustain unit. Yeah. Because she can just heal herself up.
Okay, but
by
she
90% of the
basically
missing
just
health.
fucking got ice there from the world one, but I'm worried. I don't know how much she's living here.
What blessings do you have? Did you take the one that shares damage?
No.
Okay. Don't take that when you have her on your team. It's really bad for her.
all things in this world have
However, and I should ban Sideblade from the chat for spoiling the thing coming up, even though he didn't know.
The Lynx thing? Is that one?
Yes, Lynx is the clearest example of power creep that the game has,
Yeah.
because she absolutely just shits on Natasha.
Eternal
Like, it's
sleep
not
is
even
the
close.
end.
She does almost the exact same things. She does everything better. You know, her basic attack does
Time for the
HP-based
master
damage
stroke.
straight off the bat. Her element, probably slightly better. Her skill gives an ally a buff that will give them extra HP, and it will heal them. And if they're on the destruction or preservation path, it will give them like an aggro increase. So like she would pair with Clara to help Clara take aggro if you wanted to, you know, play the two of them together. Her ultimate is an AoE heal plus an AoE cleanse. It cleanses one debuff from every member of your party. And then Lynx's talent is anytime she heals someone with her skill or her ultimate, she puts a heal over time on them. And if it happens to be a character that she's targeted with her skill, then they get even more healing. So effectively, she's got the targeted single target heal that is better than Natasha's. If you just look at the scaling on it, since they can achieve kind of similar HP numbers, her ultimate heals the scaling on it is slightly better, especially since it also has a heal over time, and it has an AoE cleanse versus the single target cleanse that Natasha has. The difference being that it's an ultimate instead of a skill, So it requires energy, but it doesn't take skill points. So, you know, you could go either way on that. But it's 4 characters versus 1. She's just so much better. There's no reason to ever put Natasha in your party outside of like mono physical or an enemy that puts a debuff on you, but they only ever target one character, and your team is insanely skill point positive, like what Treevoid has going on right here, or something like that. There's just never a call for Natasha ever again.
Yeah, I think the like one thing that I'm not sure about how much of an issue this is in reality is like, let's say when I use Dan, I don't want Dan getting hit, but when Lynx is there, but let's say he does get hit, and I want to heal him with their skill, because he's destruction, he has to get the taunt. So that seems like that I don't want that sort of thing.
On the other hand, it's more energy for him.
Yeah, it is more energy. I think he like if you build your units properly, you don't rely on that. Unless they're like specifically destruction or
it's just extra energy.
Yeah. Ursula has CC. Yes.
Only if you have
at
her
E2.
Eidolon. Yeah, Eidolon 2.
Yeah. So E2 gives,
which is really good.
Yeah, I went very deep for E2.
I did a poll a little earlier today because I had some. I did, as a matter of fact.
Oh, that's good.
Which I didn't realize what E2 was. I was like, oh, okay, it's Lynx. That's good. And I looked at it. I was like, oh shit, it's that one.
Yeah, like Lynx is great at E0, but I think E2 is like very changing in terms of her utility. I think it's a huge adult one for her. Her E2 and her E6 are like the most impactful. Because her E6 gives the other person, I think, 30% extra effect resistance.
So I understand, you know, Natasha was free to everyone, and so maybe that plays a part in it, but even so. The only area where Natasha just destroys Lynx is the light cone department, because both of Natasha's light cones are way better than the Battle Pass one that Lynx has.
You mean the light cones like that her picture is on?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. I mean, those aren't like her. Like,
they're hers. They're hers. That's how it works.
Okay.
Now I will say, if
these are all terrible.
The Battle Pass light cone were to be, maybe not Battle Pass light cone, if Lynx's talent were changed, and it was just when Lynx provides healing to an ally, totally different story. Because then the Battle Pass light cone would be just insane on Lynx. You would get a team-wide healing over time every single time you pressed the basic attack button. Okay, that's fine. She's definitely still going to get used. She's just not as good as Lynx. That's just how it is.
What the fuck is that?
Oh, that is a lot of stages.
Yeah, the second wave in particular is the one that I'm not crazy about. It just feels a little bit too long. Also, this team's damage sucks ass. That was a long first
yeah,
boss.
You do not have any characters amping your damage whatsoever. Yeah. Unless you have Fushwen's Light Cone, which I sound like you don't.
Oh, now I'm definitely going to have too many skill points. Oh, and I can imprison the... Oh, well, that's not great. Okay.
You should download a better character.
I'm not sure who to replace here.
I
could replace Jingyuan with...
I would replace either Jingyuan or Fushwen. If you're leaning into the Clara thing. Who do you have?
Kafka has a follow-up. That is true. She does technically have a follow-up. I don't.
Oh, you're going to replace Clara with Ting Yun.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a good choice.
Yeah. Whew,
That is
a thing
actually a
I
good
could
choice.
do. No, I'm not gonna do that.
Then you have like a real team.
I mean, this is a real team. This team will struggle to survive, but it is a real team.
Whereas if you leave Fushuen in, you never have to worry about Lightning Lord.
I could do this too.
Yeah, that team has no damage.
But yeah, Clara. This is a
Right.
Clara carry.
But you're imprisoning them, right?
No, that we just won't proc it.
Defo news? No, I didn't know there was Defo news. Is it end of service?
Oh yes, that's right. There was a announcement scheduled for today at 10.
Papalimo BT? For real? Let me go over to the Defo
Is
Twitter.
it
I guess.
simultaneous? Is that why? Is it only one?
Let's take a look. I'll bite. I'll go over their Twitter. I thought it was the announcement was tomorrow.
You can watch 200.
Let me find out.
Fuck.
Let's take a look. No shit, it is. Simultaneous Papalimo release, JP
Yeah.
and Global.
I think it says a lot
Watchful.
that they can release a unit simultaneously in both versions. I think.
Means that maybe that simultaneous Clive is
I want to protect
know.
everyone
Yeah.
too.
let me see. It says that
Is there any distinction between the two?
between what two?
Get complacent.
Between the JP and GL versions?
Off the top of my head,
Infinity.
just the
Yeah, 'cause,
characters that are in it, I guess.
Yakuza Hours never on Wednesdays, Soraya.
It says
This is
that
Chrono Cross Betrayal.
yes, it is Chrono Cross Betrayal. I told Treevoid he was going to have to apologize to Indo and Soraya because I know they look forward to Chrono Cross every week. It says Papalimo's BT, the effect changes based on which stance he's in. Fire stance gives him enchant, which seems kind of pointless because I think he already does that. Defense ignore and deal additional brave attack per hit. Oh Jesus, he's Thancred.
Well, additional brave attack. That's what.
I see through you.
Prish. That's
Yes.
Prish's BT effect. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Thancred. It's Thancred all over again. Unless he gets some kind of crazy rework where it's like
the
2
field
brave
is
attacks and like 12 HP attacks.
It's so hard to remember if the field is up.
It's just look at the ground.
I know. The big glowing sigils on the ground.
And then the ice stance is ice enchant and brave gain per brave hit, which is significantly better because
But isn't
his
ice
ice stance
stance
is kind of ass.
The worst stance?
Yeah, but it's the worst because it only has like 1 brave hit, and the gains aren't super duper crazy. So the way that you can tell when you need to use her skill
It
is when
flashes.
yes,
Yeah, it has a nice visual cue. I don't think
It
I
was
had
not.
it on this entire fight.
it was not doing that at this time. It was on. What are you talking about?
No, there was one point where the ground was there was no purple.
All things must
I've heard tell that once upon a time, I can't confirm this because I don't know anything about that, but I've heard tell that once upon a time she had a 2-turn rotation, which sounds pretty crazy.
Oh, like she could burst every other rotation?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
like skill basic.
That'd be a very different character.
quick divination. Together as one.
Like you did not need to use that,
Oh,
but
I have
you have so many skill
points.
points.
Yeah,
It's like why not?
yeah. I was like, I'll just use it for energy.
Eternal
Um, It's okay though, Soraya. Tomorrow will be Yakuza asterisk hour. The professional video game player.
I'm overflowing on her stack.
Yes, Soraya. Judgment hour cometh.
You chose the wrong enemy.
That feels kind of bad when you have 2 stacks and you just can't do anything.
When who does?
When Fushuan,
Why?
because it's like, God, I have her ultimate, but I don't want to press it because I'm at max stacks already.
Why wouldn't you press it for damage?
Well, yeah, I mean you can do that. It's just like I feel like I want to.
She needs
wanna
to
do
use
it.
her skill this turn because
Yeah, because it's flashing.
I've also heard that they changed the mechanic to where now it expires at the end of the turn instead of at the start. That's nice.
Welcome, customers.
Why isn't my party getting debuffed?
I'm not afraid of you.
What do you mean? Why aren't they getting debuffed?
Receive divinity.
This lady like always imprisons you.
You know that Fushuen, when you use her skill, refreshes her debuff protection, right?
Yeah, but that's only once.
What do you mean only once?
It like once it procs, you need to repress your skill. The debuff protection is only once per skill usage.
Okay.
It's not, well, the field is always up.
Correct.
Oh, okay, there we go. Problem solved.
I'm like, I'm
Gosh.
waiting for you to...
Fushman sucks.
Man, if only she had lost enough HP to get Locha to
Luocha
do something
healed,
about
yeah.
it. He must be a shitty healer.
To protect everyone too.
I know, now I have to waste a skill point. God, when are we going to get good healers and tanks in this game?
Right? God, Japard can only tank when he has his ultimate. Fushuen can only do stuff when she's not CC'd.
All things in the human creation.
Yeah, I think Fushuan is very good overall.
You off.
I think she's like just generally better than any of the other preservation units.
Wait a minute. Doesn't Celteus have like an ice wing and a fire wing?
Yeah.
So you're telling me that the ice and fire wing guy is gonna be up at the same time as I switch between fire and ice stance guy?
Ooh, that was a lot of damage.
Which is Papa Lima.
Eternal
Yeah. When is Papa's banner going live?
A little a week from now?
Oh,
6th.
Welcome, customers.
I can only see 3 comments right off the top because I'm not scrolling. And one of them is merge confirmed, I think.
we are getting much closer.
I want to protect everyone.
Apparently he's got an FR partner in common with somebody else.
What? Really?
I'm gonna watch. Yeah, I'm watching this trailer right now. I'm gonna
Very
start it.
striking.
I'm gonna give my live reaction.
Reciprocity. Excellent.
I like the name of the BT. The attack.
Is it a spoiler?
No shit.
1,000
Hey.
Who's the other?
Okay. BT animation gets my my seal of approval. Oh, well, that's a spicy effect.
We clapping them cheeks, RVK.
together.
Hey yo. Oh wow, he really does share an FR partner.
Who?
I'll let you watch it
I want
to
protect
find
everyone
out.
too.
What? We need to let the people know.
Well, that's fair. His FR partner is Vivi.
Vivi.
Yeah,
Isn't Vivi DKC's partner?
correct.
What the fuck?
So far, the only thing I've seen from his burst effect is a gold-framed paralysis.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's,
but it's like a long one. It
Yeah.
was like 6 turns.
That's odd. FF11 bird guy is 8 turn paralysis with
Time to do
1% max HP sap as well. So weird timing, I guess. If you don't want him, you can go for Papa.
I don't like that they turned off the numbers. So all I see is the Brave gains. I can't tell how many HP attacks this is.
Oh, I don't use that feature.
But the starting gauge is 127%, and he does 3 million damage. That's a lot of green numbers.
a quick divination.
I can't see which stance he's in now.
You chose the wrong
So that's got to be Ice Stance.
I want to protect
I would hazard a guess that it's probably about 10 HP attacks.
On...
The Xenoglossy.
Oh, right. Does
Yeah,
he...
Umbral Ice.
So he still has to... Or, like... Because he's building stacks the whole time still.
His next
Did they build
attack
up
that he
fast?
uses is Umbral Ice. And it's pretty spicy for 200%. Okay, this could be impressive. Yeah, I think that Xenoglossy is a weaker attack than his skills now.
That would be very odd.
Well, he goes from dealing 6.3 million damage on Umbral Ice, and then gets I think it was plus 92%. Let me look. Yeah, plus 92%. And the 92%, it puts him at 306, and he deals 7.2 million damage. So it's an increase of about 900,000. But it's a big percentage increase on the HP damage bonus. So it sounds like it's a better attack. Let's look at his EX. Okay.
Oh, I got the achievement for doing a blank domain when I'm not in Nihility.
He looks like he could potentially be spicy. It's hard to tell.
Better than RNA.
Dunno. Like I said, they have the HP damage turned off completely.
Yeah.
So you only see the final number. It's hard to tell.
Oh,
Because it's going to definitely be
fucking
how many HP attack? We'll have to wait for the sine wave spreadsheet.
better
for
than
sure.
Zidane. Not hard.
His BT animation though gets a thumbs up from me as a former Final Fantasy 14 player.
But is he better than Locke? Is the real question.
Probably.
Oh god, this has a... I don't want to do a swarm domain though. I know, I'm just gonna go transaction.
Aren't you excited to fight the boss, Treevoid? I like that they added Screwlum so that you can buy blessings directly, even though they're completely random. It's nice to be able to just be like, oh man, I got all these,
Extra Cosmos
fragments. Yeah, and you can do stuff with them. And being able to buy curios directly is also nice. Does that one say? You
get
gain a
3-star
3-star blessing.
Oh great, that was a great one. I'm really happy with that one.
I didn't even catch what it did.
It was a
I saw it as propagation.
it was a propagation one.
What's it do?
It was the one that buffs normal attacks. It was the one not.
So what you're saying is it's super useless to you.
Yes.
Sorry, it's useless to everyone on your team that isn't Clara.
Correct.
Sorry, it's useless to everyone Clara. Other way around. It's useless to Clara and great for everyone else with their monstrous
Reduces
basic
all
attack damage.
dealt, or when they fall below and can no longer be inflicted. Wow.
I got there eventually.
No longer inflicted with debuff seems pretty nice against the swarm.
High threat target ahead.
Just be better. Do more damage.
Shit. Oh, okay, good aim. Good aim, Svarog. But you know what, we're just gonna... This might be a while. What are your thoughts on Fushuan?
Fushuan is pretty cracked. Having a character that, if this is the form we had gotten of Dea, man, I probably still be playing Genshin a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. the like in concept, the kit is similar, but in execution, it's
the execution is it's
very
leagues
different.
apart.
Yeah, I wonder how much of it, like, because in Genshin you only have one Karen at a time, right? So they would have to be off field to be absorbing the other party members' damage. So I wonder if it's like more difficult to implement it in that sort of way. But like a lot of the factors you can do. Thanks for popping by, Pot. Have a good rest.
See you later,
of your day.
Pot.
But like you could have her auto heal when she falls below 50%. You know, she does have the interrupt resist. You could make that actually be like meaningful and not wear off super fast. So yeah, there's ways you could make it so that Dea wasn't complete shit.
There sure are ways.
Yeah.
I was very hesitant with regards to Fushuan when I heard that she was like a damage redirection character.
Yeah. After being scarred.
But yes, I was horribly scarred by Dea. It was really a traumatizing experience for me, because Dea has one of my favorite designs in Genshin. Not my favorite,
What's your favorite?
but I don't want to answer that question.
Eula? Is it Eula?
No.
Oh,
I don't even think,
right. Okay.
I don't even think Eula would crack top 10, to be honest.
Okay, no, I remember.
We'd be looking at some sort of intersection of like Arlecchino, Signora,
All the evil ladies.
when people say if evil, why hot? I mean, you're answering your own question.
Oh yeah, you got Kafka too. Yeah,
because
I
evil
guess
is
you
hot.
have a type.
Yes, I do. Beto.
Lato's not evil though.
No, Beto is not evil. She's very uneval.
She has an iPad.
Yes. I like Beto a lot. Train of thought.
Fushuan,
Yeah, I was really surprised that
redirection
Fushuan was actually really good. So I'm quite pleased. I think that it would be nice if her light cone were either slightly better, or if one of her traces were slightly better. Specifically, if you have her signature weapon, I think, and I don't know the exact numbers on this, so don't quote me. I think that it is possible that you don't need an energy rope on her, and you could do like HP or something like that.
I think, yeah, I think her light cone makes it so that you don't need an ERR rope.
Yes. But I'm, like I said, I'm not sure, because it's only 12% energy.
Yeah.
Which is not great. Jesus. Yeah, she getting pounded.
Yeah, the run might end here.
But a good character. Her heal is kind of weak,
It's a
but I
bonus.
understand why, because she's already a preservation character that buffs crit rate by a not small amount, while also healing. So
Yeah,
I
think
get it.
if you're choosing between her S1 or her E1, I would say her E1 is a better option. Because
I think it
there's lots of
depends.
good light cones for her.
That's fair. Day one of my new life is really good.
My nose choice, I think, is really good.
I don't think I like land. I don't like aggro increases on her specifically. Because if she's redirecting damage to herself, well then what was the... If you're just going to put something that makes her get hit, like what's the point? You know?
I mean, she's still absorbing the AoEs, and it gives her extra damage percent reduction as well. But yes, day one is party wide. So yeah.
And since she already offers, I think at level 10, it's 18% damage reduction to the party, on top of redirecting the damage. Adding in day one is really, really nice, because then you've got that extra layer of that. Plus it boosts her own defense, so you could probably skimp a little on the defense substats.
I think in fights
She's
like Kafka, sorry to interrupt, Fu Xuan's, like, where the debuff is very impactful, hits multiple people, and is telegraphed, I think Fu Xuan's shield protection thing is, like, busted.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. She's great for Memory of Chaos.
Yeah, like, as much as I'm not really crazy about the way it functions, even I will admit that in this specific use case, it's ridiculous. Anyway, sorry, you were saying.
Pushwen good. That's about the gist of it. I think she sets the tone for limited preservation characters. She's the only one that we have so far, so that might not be saying a whole lot, but there's a lot of difference between her and Japard.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting that the very first limited one has no shields, which is interesting, especially when you look at the way preservation is within simulated universe, where it's like all shield based. So I think it's just very interesting that they moved out of that design space and into a different one. I think it's good. It's just it wasn't something I was expecting. Oh damn, she's out of stacks. Oh god, girl needs to do this skill more. Here we go. Yeah, maybe I need to go manual here and start spamming skills.
Needs more damage.
Everyone too. Help me, Mr. Sora.
Yeah, I didn't get. I don't have a single 3-star elation blessing. This run has not been blessed by blessings very much.
Gather as one.
The thing I don't like that it doesn't just give you
Who will it be?
matching blessings.
Yeah, I mean,
you just
that's like roguelikes.
the elite. Like, oh, normally you would typically get at least one that matches your path. And in this, they're like, fuck you. We're not doing that. I don't care for that.
Wonders to raid. All things human creations.
Take a guess.
Can we talk?
Okay, we had to go a little bit manual. Things are getting a bit too spicy.
A quick divination. Converge and awaken.
I'll see you off.
I want to protect everyone too. Monster Storm.
Something for everybody.
Yeah, this is a wipe.
Don't be scared.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it? Is it?
Zone me out.
Was. Who could have seen this coming?
Who could have seen this coming?
Certainly not Treevoid.
No. Rip. That's fine. This is why I've been putting off Elation Path. Forgotten Hall rewards. Yeah, let's go back to Forgotten Hall.
Do you want to enter the Forgotten?
Yeah, so Fushuan good, Link's good. A
Dongheng
shame there's
also
no other
good.
characters this patch. Yeah, I guess there's that one character. Let's get into it. Yeah, let's do this. So Fushuan, and this, and then we will get. Tingyun. There we go. Okay, so now that I'm in control the whole time, let's do one proper showcase, and then we'll get to Dan when we get to Dan.
I wasn't paying attention. Which stage is this?
Floor 6.
6.
I was autoing them, and then we got distracted by Memory of Chaos, or Simulated Universe. There we go. Well, I have no hilarities.
One thing that I will say, and I'm only bringing it up because I just heard it. It's like when you have selective hearing or vision or whatever. Because I heard Kafka's voice.
Good times never last. Time to say
I
goodbye.
do not like English Kafka, but I like English
All things in the
Kafka's voice actress. Those of you who watched the 1.2 special program might have seen this. There's a huge difference between how she sounds, like just talking,
Cutting it
and how she sounds as Kafka. Maybe it's like an intonation or
You don't
like her
the
voice.
vocal fry?
Kafka sounds bored. Like all the time.
Yeah,
Whereas-
I can see that.
Whereas if you go back and you listen to her during the live stream, I understand how some people get down bad for voice actors. I'll put it like that. It's totally different.
Small fry.
She still it's not like she sounds like a completely different person. She just doesn't sound bored. It's really hot. I'm not gonna lie to you.
didn't hurt. Good times. Time to say goodbye. Boom.
I didn't understand why my friend was telling me that she sounded bored, because I just do Japanese, and then I switched it over. I'm like, oh wow, I get it now.
It's great.
yin and yang.
I really like the English VAs in general. I think they do a good job here.
I don't care for Sampo, but that's me.
Oh my gosh, Sambo's the best.
All things in the
He's like that shitty used car salesman.
Oh my god.
The punches decide.
Cutting it.
God, Luke is so good. I forget.
He does sound like that, but... And really, this is a conversation I was having with Nolf the other day. You know, there's lots of great voice actors and actresses in every language. It's not necessarily like a subs versus dubs,
I see through you.
a hardline like war or whatever. I know some people are like that.
Let's see some
I tend to prefer Japanese because I may not understand the language, but one thing I always understand is tone.
Good times.
Um,
Time to say bye.
and it feels like there's a lot more like the Japanese actors and actresses, the seiyus. It feels like they're emoting much more strongly. It's different. It's hard to explain. Which isn't to say that there aren't incredible performances out there, or things where I won't watch it in anything but English, like Bebop, or like I'll never watch Yu Yu Hakusho in another language besides English. It's too good. Those are two of the big sort of standout examples, in my opinion.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I see we're seeing some scaly.
Yeah,
Dragon
so
fucker.
this is Dragon Dan. So underneath his portrait, there's these little like fan symbols, and one of them is yellow. That's because I entered battle with his talent.
Fans? I thought Ting Yun was dead.
conflict requires undivided.
No, she's alive via Dan. That's all she is now. She's a dedicated Dan support. So what these little fans do is they're like free Dan exclusive skill points. So you
What do you mean?
So when Dan wants to use a skill point, he will first dip into his personal skill point reserve system, these little 3 fan symbols, before he dips into the party skill points. And the way he gets them is either via his out of battle
Conflict
technique
requires
talent
undivided
thing,
focus.
which gives him 1. And then every time he uses his ultimate, he gets 2. Unless you have his E2, but that's different. We're not going into Eidolons here. So it was at 1 was lit up, and then I used his burst, so now I have 3. So the next 3 skill points I use on him will
Don't get
be
complacent.
free because it won't be dipping into the party's pool.
So what you're saying is he's got like his own secret stash, but he won't let anyone else in the party use it.
Yeah, he's
'cause
hoarding.
Yeah. I
And
don't like hoarding.
the way he works is he uses skill points, but he doesn't actually like use a skill. All it does is it buffs his normal attack. It has 4 states: basic attack with no skill points, an enhanced attack with 1,
Conflict requires
enhanced with a little bit of splash at 2 skill points, and then the ultimate one when he uses 3 skill points. So we're going to use it now. And,
You give him the 2 fingers.
he gives him the 2 fingers. He does nice, cool little dragon animations, and he does a fuck ton of damage.
Are you saying that Don Hung is an Elden Lord confirmed?
Yeah. This is basically his whole kit. It's very basic. He's not a very complicated character. He's very straightforward.
That was a really terrible pun.
Yeah.
He's very basic. He uses basic attacks.
Yeah.
Boo.
I mean, it is accurate though.
This
Boo.
combat needs optimizing.
Boo this man.
Yeah. Most of the like quote unquote complexity of Dan is not that he's complex at all, but it's just like you need to be very specific when you're building your team. But once your team has been built, he's extremely straightforward to use in gameplay. You just mash your skill button until it says you cannot consume any more skills, and then you press the button, and then he does half the boss's health bar in 1 hit.
The thing that I care for about him is how clunky his not basic attack is. Like when you're looking at his traces.
Good as new.
Oh, like the damage percentages?
So the reason why he deals so much damage is because when he attacks, each hit that he does increases his his crit damage by 1%. but it goes away at the end of every attack. But there's like a wall of text to explain how that works to you. Because it's got like a buff that he gets, and it stacks X number of times, and he gets X number of stacks per hit. But then he has another buff that does something really similar, where it's is it attack for the other one?
Yeah. So the way it works is off of every attack, off of every hit of the attack, he'll get a damage % bonus, and then on any hit of an attack that does 4 or more hits, he'll start getting a crit damage buff.
What is it we're
And both of those buffs last only until the end of that attack. Unless, again, you go into his Eidolons. His E1 allows his damage % buff to stay until the next attack.
Heaven search?
So, like, if you look at the stacks, there's 4 with this little, like, star, and then 1 with the sword. So that's 4 of the damage % buff and 1 of the crit damage. It's going to keep going up as I do more hits. And then it caps out at 6 buffs of damage % and 4 buffs of crit damage. And then those will go away at the end of his turn. So what you want to do is, if you get to maximum energy through that triple enhanced basic, you want to use that immediately. You want to use his ultimate immediately so that you get the benefits of all those buffs, other than as aside to using it raw, in which case you wouldn't have any of those multipliers. So that's like the only like added layer of complexity to his kit, but he's extremely straightforward. I don't like I think there's a lot of text behind his kit, but it's a lot of like verbiage to just say he does a lot of damage.
Say it.
Yeah.
Say it.
Yeah, he's definitely the strongest unit in the game right now. In terms of like, if you're looking at like a single unit's DPS, I don't think it's quite close. And again, if you look at a how much damage can he do in one turn? If you look at it in terms of skill point efficiency, I think he's about on average with everyone. Well, actually, I think
so,
Blade would be the most skill point efficient DPS.
I think it's if you look at it as skill points. Yes.
Yeah.
Probably about the same as any other DPS.
Yeah. But front-loaded damage is much more important than back-loaded damage.
Yeah.
Which is sort of like the Jing Yuan issue.
His other big problem is that he works, like, he really depends on specific supports, but it's like the same supports that everybody else wants. Everybody would love to have Ting Yun or Yukong or Bronya or Pella.
Mm-hmm. I think Bronya is like the most tight of them all. I don't like Bronya.
I think it's Ting Yun.
No. Like tight in terms of you need to be very particular in how you use Bronya with Dan. Not in terms of
right.
People are calling.
Yes.
Yeah, but everyone wants either a Pella or a Silver Wolf or a Ting Yun or a Bronya. Yeah, he wants all the generic supports. Similar to how like in Genshin, a new unit will come out and they'll be like, oh, they're great when you use Kazuha, Bennett, and Shengling. And it's like, oh yeah, that's every unit.
Xingqiu.
Yeah. Xingqiu, it's like, okay, just I guess we can apply this to every unit. And it's not wrong, technically. But his best supports are way better than the other general supports. Like, you do not pair Dan with Asta. It's just not something you do.
You could.
You could.
But you would probably do it in Simulated Universe.
Yeah, like in a very specific setup. That's not applicable to the general sort of situation.
But you could do it.
You could, yeah.
The police probably won't break into your house if you do it. They should, but they probably won't.
Never time to say
And like you can pair him with Yukong, although like I would strongly recommend E6 Yukong. Otherwise, it feels really shit to just be basing attacking with her and then it gets really tight on skill points with him if you're using a non-E6 Yukon. So yeah, it's just like he's very restrictive in his team comps. But if you do build a team around him, he just does a lot of damage, which you know does hurt him in the long run, in theory, because it means he's easier to power creep because it isn't providing any utility.
Whoa. It sounds like you're saying he's just a damage dealer.
He is literally just a damage dealer. I guess technically speaking, he has utility because he does a decent amount of toughness shred, and being imaginary, he can imprison, but you're never relying on that. Like he's a DPS unit.
Time to say bye.
But
I think he has I think it's a trace where he gets is it crit damage? 24% crit damage to imaginary weak enemies.
correct.
So if you're not attacking an enemy that's imaginary weak, he just doesn't get it.
He just doesn't get that
Say
trace.
bye
Yet.
to breathing.
And some people say, well, just pair him with Silverwolf, which seems obvious, but also it means that in order to use the kit that he has, that he was given, you need to specifically pair him with another 5-star character.
Or you bring him to like inherently imaginary fights.
Which is what I would do, personally, if I felt like building him, which I don't. I do think that people did overhype the, like how desperate, like how thirsty he was for skill points a bit. But
Oh, my field is up.
yeah.
See, I keep forgetting. Fushuan. Too hard. Gepard, it's easy, you know. When his ultimate is up, you just press the button. Luocha, his field's always up anyways, you know. Fushuan, I need to pay attention to the floor. I'm not used to looking at the
You
floor.
have to pay attention to things that are happening.
Yeah.
My God.
Who would do this? At what point is the game asking too much of the player?
Oh my God.
Never let time to say bye. Boom.
Trouble ahead. Proceed. Let's win with you.
I'm also doing Simulated Universe at this time of time.
Also,
I'm just doing World 7 though. I'm fighting the final boss.
I had to do World 7 earlier because I didn't have any HP orbs on Broken Kill.
I just discovered that if you break the deer, it breaks. Oh, it's because I have the fucking blessing. Never mind.
Complacent.
It's nice. The breaking the boss or whoever with like quantum or something,
Yeah.
and it gets everybody. That's a good blessing.
There's a blessing that spreads break.
Yeah, it says when you inflict weakness break on an enemy, the enemies that are adjacent also take the same weakness break,
Well, that's pretty.
which is really funny against Japard.
Yeah.
Because, you know, once you break him with, for example, Kafka, it's going to break the other two dudes next to him, and then that's an extra dot for her to trigger with her ultimate. And of course, they're going to take extra damage because you're probably on Nihility, and it's really funny. Doing like 3/4 of his health in one attack.
The time to chase heaven's surge.
Hashtag just E2 things.
Totally relatable.
Scales.
Right. It is relatable. Everybody
E2
pulled.
plus signature like.
Everybody pulled for E2 Kafka, right?
The strength
Yeah, how could you not?
of heaven's surge.
Exactly.
Did
Finally,
you
a
not
Treevoid
hear-
take that I can agree with.
Did you not hear the theme music of?
Yeah, it
of
was
her
pretty
trailer?
amazing.
Yeah, that was like the best trailer music. I think the last one I can think of that was as good was the Al Hatham one in Genshin. I really like the Al Hatham one.
Let's be friends.
I think All Hate Them is probably the single. I take that back. Until Kafka, All Hate Them's was the single best trailer that they'd ever done, but it's because they incorporated characters that you've interacted with super, super well. Like, I really enjoyed how they just, hey, here's other characters. They're going to talk about All Hate Them for a minute.
Oh yeah,
And you got a
with the-
sense of what their personalities were like,
with
too.
the
Yeah.
with the double
game.
gate. Card
They were
thing.
playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that trailer a lot.
Yeah, with the Sino as everywhere system.
I like that. That's good.
He was in every single patch since he came out until 4.0.
I'm a big fan. If we're talking music, just music, I don't remember the Baizu music or honestly anything that they've done since, because I haven't been paying that much attention to Genshin since
Yeah.
Star Rail came out.
I like Fontaine's music. I think it's pretty good.
But what I will say is the Dea trailer. I don't know. I think I like the music a little more than the All Hate Them one. I like metal.
Yeah.
That one was really good. Because it's so... I think maybe part of it is because it's so different from what they would normally put out.
Mhm.
Especially for a game like Genshin. So it's that expectation versus reality thing.
Yeah. Shit. That was the wrong
Fish
thing.
One is very funny in Simulated Universe when you trigger her talent and you have abundance blessings, because it gives her extra healing, so she just straight heals to full, but then also it'll heal your allies because someone healed somebody.
More business, eh?
And because she reduces the damage that they take by so much, that's a full heal for them.
Stand still.
Good times.
Man, this is my favorite enemy.
I see through you. Gather as one.
I did not mind this enemy when it was in Memory of Chaos before. Like, at all. And I know that's an Omega hot take, because everyone else hates it. I'm just kind of indifferent. Not like, oh, I love this enemy so much.
I think it's just that the fact that I can prison 2 allies in a row, like back to back.
Yeah, the double in prison is pretty rough.
What are you waiting for? To betray my customers?
But the Memory of Chaos, it was early on. It was maybe the Silver Wolf one, where we got the deer for the first time. That was annoying, because you would get through this guy, the robot, and then you'd have to fight the deer, but they have completely different weaknesses.
Yeah.
Which, if you were a Sela haver, it was whatever. But I was not.
Well, this blessing is way easier than the last one, because the Trotters are just like huge damage buffs. Compared
You mean
to
extra
just
damage versus extra
the
skill points?
Yeah.
That was so bad.
Yeah, like, even, like, I don't know what they were doing, because, like, does Dan want a lot of skill points? Yes, but when you're building a Dan team, you build it so that he has the skill points. You don't need it. Like, yeah, it was very odd.
When I saw people complaining on both Discord and Reddit about the Memory of Chaos, this blessing with that blessing, I should say, with Genuine, I went and I decided that I would use him through Memory of Chaos. And with someone saying, oh, well, you know, Genuine sucks if you don't have his light cone, I also took his light cone off of him and gave him breakfast. And so I went through the Memory of Chaos. Breakfast was fine. Genuine was fine.
I see through you.
Like, it was fine. But the blessing was shit. When
Yeah, it makes
you're
Lightning Lord way worse.
yes, when you're trying to hit a specific enemy, or you're fishing for a break or something like that, or especially in stages where you need to kill like ads so that the boss doesn't absorb them, or so that they don't blow up or whatever. it's really frustrating when you miss that one hit that would have, you know, dealt with this issue, because the trotter is just chilling there. It's fine in a situation like this where the trotter's going to do damage when you kill it, but when it's just, hey, have a skill point that I really didn't need anyway, it was kind of silly. I did not care for it.
We're just having fun.
Just having fun!
What are you waiting for? To betray my customers? I charge extra.
Good times.
How can
feels a
you
lot-
not like him?
He feels slimier. He feels more like a con man in Japanese instead of like a used car salesman.
Yeah.
Trouble ahead.
Where some people would say, what's the difference?
I'm with you.
Cool it.
It's just, it's different. It's one of those, you have to hear the difference. You don't have to be some fucking connoisseur or anything like that. Just different.
Don't get complacent.
Also, I think Fushuen just died when I wasn't paying attention.
You're for
More
sure.
enemies.
Yes, because the boss did the horn AoE, and then I think he got the second fruit and then did that AoE.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a lot of damage.
But I got the new abundance blessing that will bring people back to life in the battle.
Oh, that's a thing.
Yeah, it's a resonance thing.
Receive divinity.
Better late than
Is it an
never.
interplay or
Huh?
is it an interplay?
What do you mean?
Now there's like some. If you get 3 of a different one while you're on the abundance path, then you'll get a unique interaction. You get a unique.
No. This was it's a path resonance.
Oh, okay.
Hang on. I will read it to you. There it is. Resonance formation terminal nirvana. When any ally receives lethal damage, the resonance of Path of Abundance prevents them from being knocked down and automatically consumes all energy to release Path Resonance. And it can trigger once per battle.
It's very nice.
Yeah, because she took a shit ton of damage.
Can I have fun this
Which,
time?
while funny, is not ideal.
Yeah, that's the wrong weakness.
This
Fushuen on
combat
Abundance
needs
is
to
pretty stupid, by the way.
double speed.
What on abundance? But she's a tank.
Yeah.
That's the wrong one.
We sent a storm.
Well, she can't give shields, and her big weakness is taking a bunch of damage. So you just give her heals and persistent cleanses that happen all the time. It's so stupid.
Blood cleansing dragon.
These guys don't stand a chance.
1,000 wonders to raid.
Like, even if I didn't have that and it had killed Fushuen, like, the party still would have killed them.
So is he gonna one-shot Silverwood?
Ice
did not.
damage boost
Good as
with
new.
crit rate. Yeah, I guess that's okay. Attack rate, effect hit rate.
The strength.
My relic life is not going so well lately.
You
Yeah.
took bait.
I feel you there.
Welcome, customers.
Oh, this is a literally perfect set of substats. It's just the wrong set. If this had been on Broken Keel, I would put it at plus 15 immediately. I got an HP orb with defense percent, effect resistance, and break effect.
I sent a
It'd be
storm.
amazing for Fushuen or Lynx.
Eternal state.
Oh, you've got to be shitting me. The other one is an HP rope, which I could realistically put on Blade, I guess. But it's got attack percent, speed, and crit rate. I guess I'll lock that.
Have fun this time.
Might be an upgrade. I don't know what his substats are.
Ugh. Oh god, don't kill Silverwood. I should.
This combat.
Oh,
This is double speed.
the ones I'm missing are resonances. Oh, I see.
Good as new.
Repay. The strength. Heaven's surge.
I hate this dude. Okay, what's left here? So much lightning weak. Why is everything lightning weak? It's so weird. Oh wow, Kafka on the side. I would really like Fushuan for the second half. That's
To
fine.
use her on that side.
Nah, Dan melts the Kafka's HP. It's very strong.
I mean, you could use Kafka on that side.
On the Kafka side?
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
You could run
this
Kafka,
electric.
Sampo, Fushuan, and third character.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even matter who.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
So
Fushuan's very comfy.
Always.
I have been. I'm not going to say swayed because that's not quite right.
Does
I
that
picked up the new Herta light cone.
The Nihility one?
Or the Nihility, yes. Which increases break effect by at S1. So base. It's 20% break effect. It gives you 4 energy whenever an enemy that has damage over time that the
User.
wearer, the user has on them. So if they have, wind shear, and you put this on Sampo, they've got Sampo's dot on them, and they die. It gives Sampo 4 energy. And then the other effect is that whenever they use their ultimate, it increases the damage over the dot damage that the user deals by 24%. I picked it up. I haven't leveled it up. I haven't superimposed. I'm not going to do anything like that anytime soon. But
Good times. Time to say bye. Boom.
actually, I might superimpose it. We'll see. We have a new Nihility character coming out next patch
Goodbye to breathing.
in Glenfin.
protect everyone too.
I don't know what she does, but as a fire Nihility character, seems reasonable to guess that maybe she's a burn character. So I'm gonna have it ready.
I'm surprised you got it
Just
because I
in case.
remember you.
Yeah, I really don't like it,
Yeah.
but it's a 5-star Nihility light cone. We'll see if it's any good. I definitely don't like it on Kafka though.
Good times.
For
Time
sure.
to say bye.
Yeah, I mean, shock isn't a great break effect.
I mean, shock is fine. It would probably be okay for her if you didn't have her signature, since the energy when an enemy dies is very similar to one of her traces. So you would be able to use her ultimate more frequently, which is good. I don't know. There's just something about this rubs me the wrong way.
We're just having fun.
You're very anti-break effect.
Stand still.
A quick divination.
There's not really any Nihility characters you would build specifically into break effect for. Like Sampo, you can build break effect, but realistically you're trying to build attack.
Yeah, I think the only one that I think has an equally viable break effect build is Luca.
More business, eh?
I would have said Silverwolf.
Oh yes, sorry, Silver Wolf as
Betray
well.
my
Yeah,
customers, I
Um,
charge extra.
yeah, break effect Silver Wolf is very valid.
Yin and yang.
you could build Luca on break effect. It feels like the kind of thing where you should probably get break effect from substats instead of rope. Physical break is super powerful. but the bleed that he already has is really, really good too. And it only scales with his attack. And it seems better to build for something that you can reliably inflict all the time versus I can do this, you know, every 2 or 3 cycles, let's say, and it only lasts 2 enemy turns. Versus I spend a skill point and make it happen.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, like
Good times never
they can
last.
stack,
Time to
right?
save money.
So it doesn't have to be one or the other.
But if you had to pick one,
Yeah, I mean, like I have my Luca built attack and not
like
break effect.
specifically for something like the rope, you have to pick one.
I want to protect everyone too.
I think my Luca's on energy rope. I don't remember.
Let me look at mine.
Stand
I
still.
probably have an energy rope as well. Oh no, I'm on attack rope. Attack rope with HP %, speed, effect rate, and effect resistance. I'm really killing it with substats out here.
Yeah, you make do. It is what it is.
I actually kind of like his physical orb. It's attack %, crit damage, and break effect
Yeah. Oh,
with a
good
bunch
stuff.
of crit damage rolls. Which as a dot character, I don't mind crit damage on him. Still pretty decent.
Stand still.
Oh, that's why he feels so weak. Oh, his relics are really low level. I should do something about that.
Yeah,
Trouble
I
ahead.
just recently
Let's wait and see.
increased all my Kafka relics.
Cool it.
My Luca's relics are level 6.
Oh. Yeah, my Kafka were all 12. They weren't that low.
Uh,
Oh
How
no.
many characters do you have
Don't get complacent.
with relics that are level 15?
15? 15 is a bit high. I don't think that many.
I have exactly one character kitted out with full
I have fun this
15s.
time.
Are you,
1,000
and as a matter of fact, I'm going to ask chat too, can you guess who that character is? You get one guess.
It's a Kafka.
Is that your guess?
Yeah.
Scales.
Okay. What do you think?
Blood cleansing dragon. I sent a storm.
Yeah,
Search.
I don't think I'm gonna get this up. Should have
It cut out there for a second.
healed with. I should have healed with Blue Whale just so I could have dispelled the Mara struck. Oh god, this is gonna suck. Oh no, who are you? Woo! Thank God you hit Blue Whale. Things get so much more scary when you don't have Clara.
I'll see you
Dude.
off.
I'm used to relying on the Clara crutch.
Eternal sleep. The dead return.
Time for a buzz.
The strength.
This combat needs optimized. This is double
I
speed.
think I lost your line.
Heaven search. Rise.
What do you mean?
Nope, I'm good. I hear you.
Awaken.
I just haven't said anything.
Oh.
Although
Settle this.
you said your guess was Kafka, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm interested in hearing what chat thinks. Also, this final wave is very annoying. That's a lot of damage to take before you can do anything.
1,000
Rocha.
wonders to raise your
For the
spirit.
rescue.
How does that feel?
Oh no.
Oh man.
Save us.
If only you had Fushwen.
More enemies.
No, my Fisherman's shield would have been over. Let's see. Who am I debuff? Yeah, let's get...
Did he just say America?
Whoop.
Eternal sleep.
Heal everybody before Kafka's next turn. Because she's going to fuck them up with that AoE.
I sent a storm to heaven's surge.
Do it. Well,
Awaken dormant scale. Blood cleansing dragon.
the way that that's not a full AoE is also bad. Not a fan.
Talk. Better let
I wouldn't say
thousand
bad,
wonders to raise your spirit.
Versus actual AoE.
No.
Ow. Yeah, he's probably dead. Yeah.
Rip.
Eternal sleep.
It's fine.
You chose
We're
the wrong
fine.
enemy.
This
Are you?
combat needs Optima. This is double speed. Time for a fun.
Yeah, we're gonna DPS Silver Wolf. Stop following up.
How does that feel?
Stop dominating. DPS Silver Wolf down.
Receive
I
divinity.
think we lost.
Better late than
Eternal
never.
sleep.
I think when Don Hung died, you lost. Turns out that Zezot, I don't know how you pronounce that shit. He's an ice character.
Is he?
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, fire, ice, thunder. Interesting.
Oh wow, a multi-element unit? That's
And he's got a follow-up attack. Oh, yeah, he has multiple elements. His skill 1 is ice, his skill 2 is fire, and his EX is thunder, but his follow-up is all 3.
oh Bailu's
Interesting.
here.
I've heard patience
Bailu sucks.
satisfy. Having socks is. How can you not?
Self-true enchant. Chromatic damage when hitting elemental weakness. Pretty good. Brave Steel. That's good.
Why is Welt hanging out back here? Oh.
He's got a framed triple imperil. HP damage received up. Delay. That's a good LD. FR partner is Edgar. Elemental attack. Elemental weakness damage. He's got HP cap up when dealing weakness damage. BT effect. His BT effect is Prish's EX. Not Prish. What's her face? Mino. Chantoto.
Oh.
Chantoto's EX is his BT effect. And then party chromatic damage when dealing. So his BT effect is Chantoto EX plus elemental weakness. Sets her LD. Follow up damage. Interesting music choice on the train. Follow up damage when dealing weakness damage based on HP damage dealt. What? Follow up HP damage up when dealing elemental weakness damage based. What? I don't know. I would have to see that in action because that's worded really weirdly. Follow up HP damage up when dealing elemental weakness damage based on the HP damage dealt.
Well, I think this is a good point to call it out. I think we've covered everything. Was there anything else
I would agree.
you wanted to add?
Tune in tomorrow. Hi, Cell. Tune in tomorrow when we play some Judgment. Oh, it's gonna be good.
Sorry for the late stream here, Cell, but you can check out the VOD.
It's okay, Cell. You don't want to watch what just happened to Treevoid.
Yeah, it was very sad. But you can check out my sick Elation Simulated Universe run if you scroll back like an hour and a bit.
That
Yeah,
happens.
I guess that's one way. That's one way to put it. So, yeah. What was this? In a single battle, trigger the HP restore effect to Fushuan's talent for total 4 times. That seems pretty easy to get. Enter blank. Yeah. Look, we got 2 achievements this stream. Oh yeah, and I got the Ting profile picture. I thought that was a very nice little side event you can do at the end of the Lofu quest line to get it.
Oh. Okay, I have one more final thought,
Okay.
which is that Ramza is getting an FR this month, along with Sabin and Treevoid favorite
Zonde.
Selfie.
I like Selfie. Selfie's cool.
And
I mean,
assuming this is
sucks, but
assuming this is reworks, I think it's Celeste.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. Celeste with Selfie. I don't like that at all. Wait. Sabin and Ramza are releasing on the same day. Does that mean Ramza FR Sabin BT? Or Sabin gets all the stuff and Ramza just gets a
Sabin
rework?
has an FR.
Does he?
Yep.
Shit, that's right. He does. Okay, so Sabin
It's
BT,
like one of the worst FRs
Ramza
in the
FR.
game, but he does have one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Sabin BT Ramza FR. So that's exciting.
Have you seen the Popolivo trailer?
I have not.
Cell?
Oh, so
Oh, I just looked at TCC. Sorry, Cult of the Papa's Playground. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. As always, we really appreciate it. Like and subscribe for more content. Next week we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah.
Where we watch Treevoid get annihilated in Chrono Cross.
That's not true. I'm
Isn't
amazing
it?
at Chrono Cross.
Are you?
You're gaslighting our audience.
Am I? Ooh, 27 inches of Dante. Let's go. And it's the OG one. Yes, please. But yeah, we will see you later.
Yeah.
Treevoid, any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Genshin 4.1 story. I haven't been able to do it yet, so I'll probably be doing that this weekend. I'm probably trying out New Villette in the Spiral Abyss before it resets, so hopefully that goes well. But yeah, I'm enjoying Genshin's 4.0 story quite a bit. Stream your POV of the story. We'll see. I don't know how consistently I'll be able to, but maybe I'll do a Sunday Genshin stream.
That reminds
or
me.
not Sunday, Saturday. Yeah.
I mentioned earlier I need you to log into my account and get New Villette for me.
Why can you not log into your account?
I mean, I can log into it. That's not what I'm saying. I just need you to pull him for me.
I don't think you want my pull luck.
So as long as you're swiping, I don't care what your luck is like.
Oh,
Just
okay.
get me New
Well,
Villette.
I think that's a totally different request at that point. Well, on that note, I think we're going to head out, folks. Make sure to stay furry, everyone.
Or scaly if you're